collard greens, hot mark, chitlins, collard greens, chitlins.
And enough of me. Let's have Adam Rush live in the studio.
She blocks the sun with her hand, knows what my mind is thinking. Is this ship at halt or just sinking? She blocks the sun with every rain, reminds me of the fool's advice, that love is free in this paradise. Turning around the path, where are we? Where are we? It's simple at best, sliding into a calm mess. She blocks the sun with her hand, seems to know just where we are going, realizing with a smile there is no way of knowing. She blocks the sun with her pain, lies down to rest. The sky can't stop denying her soft request. The bridge can't stop denying in this wasteland of vertical strain. Across blue masses to construct the center again. Falling through the feeling in your hands, footprints in the sand that make no sense. Turning around the path, where are we? Where are we? It's simple at best, a sudden calm distress. She blocks the sun with her hand, knows what my heart is making, shrugs me off, returns me to the race. She blocks the sun with her presence, a shining lamp of goddess. Her resistance streaks mutiny and rough hearts. Turning around a dead end. Where are we? Where are we? It's reckless out west, sliding into a calm mess.
All right, this is WNHU West Haven. We got Adam Rush live in the studio, being very much alive. Thanks for coming down, man, on your birthday, no less.
I really appreciate being down here. It's great to be with you, Malcolm, on my birthday indeed.
Yay.
Yeah.
I had my birthday 3 days ago, so
Yeah, I
we're
do know
kind
that.
of in the same boat.
Yeah, we are. We had a lot of birthdays recently, actually, down at the Billy Beans, where I go down to on Tuesday nights for an open mic. They had a few birthdays going on Saturday for a few people.
You know, it's interesting you should mention the open mic. I think the open mic is a very important tool that's out there for an artist. I love doing open mics.
I think, open mics for me, that's a real big part of how I started to come working on the scene again. That freedom to be able to go and perform at open mic. And I used to go and just read solo. Till I started meeting some of the musicians, because I wanted to be organic. I didn't want to say, play with me.
Right.
I wanted to say,
Right.
You hear me? You want to play with me? Invite them in. So they
Yeah.
feel like they're part of that too, that experience. So that's a real big part of how I started doing a lot of readings recently, because I had taken off some time to do writing, and I didn't do performing for about 10 years or so.
Oh, wow.
And I was working on other projects. I kept writing the whole time. I never really did any shows. So I started going to an open mic at O'Connor's in Brookfield, ironically, because it was very close to where I lived. And that's where I met some of these musicians. And now I'm a big mainstay at the Billy Beans every Tuesday night in Danbury on White Street. And that's it reminds me of the Hat City days when Blue used to play on Wednesdays. You were guaranteed that not only was there going to be some people there, but it was all going to be musicians. So they were all going to be listening. They were all going to be into it. And it became a real meeting place back in then, and I feel the same way about Billy Beans. It's tough to get on that list sometimes.
Yeah, and I've been down there a couple times myself, and have not gone on until either very late, or sometimes I can sneak in and be the first one on, which is fine with me, because a lot of times I like to just sort of get down and get out.
Sometimes that's the way to go.
It's a good skill.
I'll actually be hosting one October 25th.
Okay.
I will be to plug myself. So come down if you have poetry. I try to mix it up for my particular show, because every time they have a different host, they try to, use what that host uses as a good benchmark for the night.
Right.
So when I do the spoken word, when I come down, I try to get a lot of the writers to come down so we can mix it up. We can have music and then poetry, music, poetry, so it's, everyone gets their own chance to be up there.
Nice.
And really have a chance for people to listen.
Well, that's a perfect lead-in to tell the people where they can find out more about Adam Rush.
Well, you can definitely find out a lot of it on Facebook, as well as on Amazon, where my record is being sold, Reverb Nation. My new record that's going to be coming out is going to be on CD Baby, so that's going to be the platform I'm going to be using it. I also have a WordPress site as well, called Atoms Don't Matter.
Oh, nice. Nice.
So you can always check out some of my spoken word there, and then my music is on Spotify. Just do a search for Adam Rush. Remember, ATOM.
I was going to say, take care with the spelling.
Yes,
'cause that's,
definitely.
an artistic license.
It is. It comes from a Walt Whitman quote. For every atom that belongs to you belongs to me as well. And I kind of taking it back from the atomic age and kind of making it feel a little beatnik in it as well. But I try to be a Rush through the poetry, or try to inspire people, be a Rush to. And that's one of the music when I started doing it at the open mics. That was kind of my goal. Besides having a good time and enjoying it, I also wanted to inspire people around me.
Yeah.
To look at things from a different perspective, And if they had a problem, I told them to stop playing. How do you tell a musician to stop playing? And I told him, just listen. You can't hurt it. Just listen.
Right.
And that in itself creates its own creativity right there, because you got to make the musician stop. He has to think, and he has a completely different idea when he comes back.
Right.
And it could be genius, complete genius when he does. So
Right on.
October 25th, and you can, like I said, you can check the Adam Family on Facebook as well. We post up there a lot about all the shows we'll be doing in the area. So
Cool. And that kind of gets back to something you were talking about earlier. It's sort of like the versatility of spoken word versus singing. Because what you're doing right now as a poetry reading can work either with a track or a room full of live musicians, whereas singing, not necessarily so much.
that's true. I can see that. But I've also seen some people that are singing a cappella, and that's pretty impressive too. So I mean, I do think that you get a different feeling from it, because you're getting the sound that comes with that, almost like listening to a singing bowl, you know. But with poetry, with what I'm doing, I want you to stop and think. Right. I want you to be getting in the words. Maybe not every word, because there are a lot of words, but enough to get a feeling of basically theme and style. Those are the two things I am looking to do when I'm writing a poem, is provide a really strong theme and have a unique style and a unique delivery to it. So it's not so stuffy. Real poetry is not stuffy.
Right.
I can guarantee you that.
I'm with that, man. I am down with that totally. Let's have another one.
Okay. Well, I was thinking maybe I'd do this one called Oswald's Ghost. That is kind of a poem about my very many conspiracy theories, as my family would say.
Uh-oh, watch out. It's going to get heavy in a second here. And this is, that's what live radio is all about. Sometimes it gets kind of heavy. And I will remind everybody this is WNHU West Haven, and we are live in the studio with Adam Rush. Let's hear it.
Badgemen in sticks, rail workers avert, dazed hobos, touch device to ear, cutouts on every block, amnesia spreads over blacked out system, executive action, an authority short on thoughts of means. Realize it marks you, accomplice. Film captured, sold to lost file cabinets, where suits shift and sift about the slit in justice. Assassins escape the eyes. It comes back to fences, grassy knolls, aligned allies, footprints in the fresh mud. An authority short on thoughts of detention. Realize it marks you, accomplice. Second sacrifice time into Zakruder mist. Driver twists, car seizes. Where the iron patch defines the fabric. Into breach we commit to this wall of silence. A government short on thoughts of transparency. Realize it marks you, accomplice. He is one for the ages, a sliver in this rugged individual. Without grim space, we are forced to remember stories not reported, a mixture of poison and perfume. The seductive apart from the seduced. A government short on thoughts in truth. Realize it marks you. Accomplice. Umbrella Man, waiting in outline, stretch judgment, the maniac salutes, a world disguised by lost symbols. Realize it marks us. Accomplice. Oswald's ghost stalks our crooked path. Where citizens are sold false instructions.
Phil Oakes and the Crucifixion, Eat Your Heart Out. That was Adam Rush live here in the studios of WNHU. That was 100% in the studio live performance of a song called Oswald's Ghost. While Adam is taking deep breaths, I will mention to everybody that this is going to be available as a podcast. Yes, indeedy do, if the technology cooperates with us. Later this evening, I will have tonight's episode of Mr. Tent's Wild Ride uploaded for you to download and listen to live anytime you want. To find it, all you have to do is go to my website, malcolmtent.net. I will spell that for you. It's MALCOLMTENT.net. And right there on the home page is a handy link that you can click to the podcast section. I usually have about 12 episodes of Mr. 10's Wild Ride archived at any given moment. And if all goes well tonight, I will have tonight's episode uploaded later this evening, which you can download for free, listen to all you want, jam to the groove, play it in your car, ruin your hearing. It's up to you, kids. So that was pretty intense, man.
Yeah, you like that one?
Yeah, it's all good. I like it all so far. You know, it's really cool because every time I've seen you play live, it's been in a live setting with some kind of band accompaniment. So the lyrics don't always cut through. But now it's just the lyrics and the music and the headset. I feel like I'm in, Redondo Beach, 1956. It's a good thing.
That's a good time period right in there, definitely.
Man.
But yeah, I mean, this particular track I just did was interesting too because when you hear John Chapman, because he does play guitar for Three Legged Dog and writes their music, you would think he played guitar. He only plays guitar on one track on the whole record. Sorry to let down Chapman fans out there. Still to buy the record though, because he does do a lot of great music on it. But a lot of it's with beats and sounds and a new kind of feel for him. So I find that I think that really tells you what about the open mic scene. You know, it's like I've had John play drums with me and melodica and all kinds of different instruments that he wouldn't normally play with. But that's the fun part about experimentation and poetry.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
And I feel like I every time I get up there with a poem, it's a new experiment. Where it's going to go. As Justin Verga always says, every album, every show sounds completely different.
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree, but completely different. But yeah, and that one also had Tito and Dave Bowen playing congas on that as well. And that's one of my favorite tracks on the record for sure. And that one, a lot of people ask me too, what came first, the chicken or the egg? And in this particular one, he had written the music and played it and performed it. And I thought Oswald's Ghost because it had a dark feel to it. It felt sinister to me. The song was going someplace in my head. And Oswald's Ghost goes someplace in my head.
Right on. And out to the airwaves and into the heads of all of our frantic fans and loyal listeners.
Yes.
We'll mention we've got 11 minutes to go. We have Damon right there in the batting circle ready to come up with the show with no name, which is my favorite thing to listen to when I'm driving around back to the chicken farm in Danbury. I think we got time for one more piece by Adam Rush. You up to it, man? You feeling it?
I am feeling it, definitely. I also like to thank Miles Dupree for being in here with us, too.
Miles,
as well.
who
He's
helped pull our fat out of the fire earlier with some of the technological difficulties we were having.
Look at that.
And is capturing this entire session on videotape. None of you out there can see it. You can hear me banging the mic around, but yes, it's on video, man. Video. Hope I look good. I'm not even going to ask what the video is going to be used for. I'll just find out whenever it happens, I suppose.
That's true. Maybe we can link it to your podcast.
Let's do it.
You can see how crazy that cast is.
A webcast? I'm down with it, man. Yeah.
This track I use a flutist on it. Barry Suroff is playing flute on this particular track I'm coming up with, and that's a great instrument for poetry, as is a trumpet. And I'm also coming out with a video for this one too, coming out same time the record comes out, shot by Johnny Parks and starring Camila Brown. It's going to be excellent. We shot a couple of weeks ago, and we're really excited about coming out with that. She was a natural on the screen.
Nice.
So it made it very easy and pleasurable to do it.
Cool.
So this one's called Stick Houses.
Right here live on WNHU.
A thin disguise, barrier in dream, glazed by mint leaf. Brittle pulse, cradles invasion, no changes that can be erased before saving. Her sharp needles always bleed. A smell in pine barren, nature's menthol, gift-wrapped echelon, caged in laughter, in shaft of stickled vine, hanging shards in lost holiday glow. Her sharp needles always bleed. A mean reprise, dream in barrier, anxiety shifts under embryo, from within the stick houses, her sharp needles, warped from memory, disguised by art, for stakes built in pain. Don't go to sleep. The boogeyman is coming for you. Freddy Krueger is coming for you. Christmas lights cracked to feeling fostered, naked, to the third eye revealed. Her sharp needles always bleed. The stick houses will burn.
Yes, yes, yes. Adam Rush live in the studios of WNHU. I want to thank you for coming down on your birthday.
You're welcome. It's great having down here, and I'm glad you had me, and I want to thank you as well, and for all the listeners out there for taking time to listen to this broadcast tonight, and check out my music. It's available online, and look for that record to come out soon. Generator.
Right on. Adam Rush spelled
ATOM, and Rush RUSH.
The only Rush that has ever been played on this radio show ever.
Ever.
Just saying.
Just saying.
And don't forget, we're going to be podcasting it. Looks like the machine has cooperated, so I should have this thing uploaded later this evening. My website, malcolmtent.net, MALCOLMTENT.net. Click the link on the homepage, and you can download and or listen live to this episode of Mr. Tent's Wild Ride and any number of others to your heart's content. We got Damon coming up in a few minutes. I'm going to close out with one track for you guys right now. This is Jimmy Neuville and the Gauchos doing Train Kept A-Rollin', because that's what my train's going to do. It's going to keep on rolling back to Danbury. Stay tuned for Damon. I hope to be back in about 166 hours' time. Until we meet again, this is Malcolm Tent saying so long from the Nutmeg State.
And listening.